Hi everybody, this is Em from DIYM. Today I wanted to DIY your own cuticle oil. So this is kind of inspired by the cuticle oil that I've owned for years. I couldn't actually find it online, so I'm assuming it's out of stock. I still have a little bit. I'm not sure if this company are completely gone or whatever, but I've been using this for years, just here and there, on maybe at least once a week or more on my cuticles. I probably should use it more often, to be perfectly honest, but I figured it'd be good to sort of make my own cuticle oil. So I watched a video by, I think her name is Nailsslayedbyval. I'm going to put the link for her down below. She did a really cool, thorough video. I don't have all the things she has, but I'm going to make a few suggestions here and there of things that she sort of suggested to do. But you can definitely watch her video, and I'm going to, again, put the link down below so you can check that out at some point. It's very, very cool. It's great for in case you want to sell stuff like this. I just want to gift this to somebody or make my own as well. So I just kind of wanted to hop on and sort of show you how to make this sort of thing for, again, for gifting and just to make for yourself, right? Anyways, so this particular cuticle oil, as most people know, there's a list of ingredients on things. I don't know specifically the amount of everything that's being used, but this is what they used. So it looks like they used some sort of grapeseed oil, which I do not have, sweet almond oil, which I do have, sunflower oil, which I don't have, sesame seed oil, which I also don't have, nutmeg oil, and aloe vera, and yeah, so that's the stuff on the back. If you want to freeze frame that, hopefully that helps somebody out. Maybe that'll help you guys figure out what kind of oils you want to use, right? So Nails by Val recommended specific oils. She recommended a coconut oil, which I actually didn't get. So I got a vitamin E oil. I already had this laying around because I like using stuff like this for my skin because I have very sensitive skin. She recommended this pure organic jojoba oil, which I think would be great for other projects. I think it's supposed to be fairly clear. It's a cold pressed, unrefined jojoba oil. I'm not an expert on skincare. I'm just gonna put that out there. So I would say do your own research on what kind of oils you should use. Also, I would research who you're gifting to, because if they're allergic to, say, almond oils or anything like that, any specific seeds, I can't digest stuff like this very well if I have almonds or any kind of seeds and nuts and stuff, but I'm okay with it on my skin. But there's some people that are completely allergic to specific oils, so I would say be careful, or even fragrances and scents. So I would say just be careful of what you're putting in your cuticle oil. Anyways, I got some sweet almond oil just because this guy had some sweet almond oil, and I also have some avocado oil. So I haven't really done this before personally. She kind of said to do whatever seems to make sense, I guess, for your cuticle oil. So oops, you can mix it up in advance, or you can just put it directly in whatever jar you decide to use. You can use dropper jars like this if you'd like. I got these roller jars. You can also get stuff that looks like nail polish bottles, so it has the little brush, so you can brush the cuticle oil on as well. So then you just take off the lid. These ones came with pipettes. I think this was actually for the jars over there that I just showed you. You can get little tiny ones too in case you want to carry it around with you in a purse. I worry about stuff like that because I don't know how much these kind of containers will leak. So I would just say try to keep that on hand, maybe at home. So there's no real measurements that Val suggested. I assume her name is Val, but anyways, I'm just going to call her Val. But yeah, she just suggested using specific oils made for skin. So I'm just going to eyeball things. She also suggested if you want to, you can use essential oils, fragrances. Lavender, she said, was one of the more popular scents. I personally don't love my things to be scented, especially because I have very sensitive skin. So I'm going to just leave it without a fragrance. Also, she said if you want to, you can get dried flowers or little clay slices, or even, I wouldn't say fine glitter, but maybe chunky glitter. And she sort of put that in there in case you want to make things look really, really pretty. She tried to use mostly clear stuff so that it looked nicer. And then if it had a little yellow tint to it, she just put a little bit of that in. I'm going to probably put more almond oil in there. I think there's, as far as I know, vitamin E oil naturally in this. So I think I'm going to put a lot of this sweet almond oil in there and some vitamin E oil. And then I'm going to put these other ones in, like avocado oil and the jojoba oil. Okay, so that's basically what I'm gonna do. But yeah, you do you. If you want to get some more clear oils that are good for the skin, do some research on that stuff. I think she used, as I said, coconut oil as well. But yeah, you do you. Whatever makes sense to you, try to use that. I would say put a list of ingredients on here as well, just so that the person knows what's in there, even you too, in case there's some sort of allergic reaction. So I'm not a skin expert. I did a makeup artistry course years ago, so sometimes I like to play around with stuff like this for the skin. That's supposed to be quite nice. There's a little funnel that comes in one of the packages. I can't remember which one it came from, but I'm just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna eyeball everything. So as I said, I wanted to get a bunch of this sweet almond oil in there. I'm gonna get a different pipette for each oil just because I want everything to stay pure, if that makes sense. You may not even need this funnel, but it might help in case you don't have these pipettes. If you want to, you can label this stuff if you don't want to throw them out. I've got a ton of them. I don't really love throwing things out though. So it's a little under halfway full with this jar of the sweet almond oil. It's actually not as yellow as I thought it was going to be, so it's not too bad. I did sweet almond oil. I'm gonna get another pipette, and I'm going to get some vitamin E oil. I want a lot of vitamin E oil because I find that's really, really good for your skin, obviously. I just did this amount here. I don't think I need a pipette for this guy. I might need it for the avocado oil, but I think that's gonna be the last thing I use. So I'm gonna do jojoba oil. Everybody does this differently, so there's lots of different recipes online if you want to check that out. I'm just gonna do a little bit of this jojoba oil though. This gives more of a yellowy color. I thought it was supposed to be clear, but I guess not. That's okay. And I'm gonna get another pipette just for this avocado oil. So you can put this in a jar if you want to, and then shake it up and then stick it in here with a pipette, or just pour it in with this funnel. There's so many different ways of doing this. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but I just find it gets a little bit more of the stuff in there when you're putting it in with a pipette. So I'm going to take off the funnel, and I'm going to take the roller ball part. Put that on like that. You don't have to do this at all, but this is another tip that I got from somebody else so you don't hurt your hands. They said to take another jar and then push it down so that it's on there tight. Okay, I think it's on there now. And I'm just gonna put this lid on. So yeah, as I said, you can put something else pretty in here, like some glitter or dried flowers or clay slices, and that would look really, really pretty. But anyways, then you basically have this, and then with this kind of roll, it's gonna roll on my skin. This doesn't seem to roll very well. It's not good. Okay, so I tried making some cuticle oil earlier with the roller ball, and I'm assuming it works, but it's hard to say because I feel like this packaging, it's almost like the roller ball is really tight, or it doesn't really work that well. Some of the oil comes out a little bit. It doesn't feel like it's doing much though. So I'm gonna try a different packaging method, and I'm gonna see if I can actually tweak the ingredients a little bit too. So hopefully it'll work a little bit better. So I'm gonna use this one. It's pretty nice. It has a dropper tool. It'll be easier to get out of this bottle in case I need to do that. I'm gonna stick this guy in here, take some pipettes, clean ones here, try doing mostly the vitamin E oil. So hopefully this will last a long time for whoever I'm making it for. You can also buy small sample bottles like this, so those are good in case you don't want to make a ton of this stuff. I'm just gonna try that. So that's for the vitamin E oil. Next, I want to try avocado oil. I just want to try it on my hands a little bit too, on its own. Just want to see the consistency of this. It feels quite nice actually. Okay, so I definitely want some of this. So I'm using a lot of the avocado oil. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that aside. That's for the avocado oil. Cold pressed unrefined jojoba oil, fast absorbing. It's good for hair, face, and body for all hair and skin types. Cruelty free and vegan. Bottled in the USA. Get a little bit of that. And then I think I'm just gonna try to see how this sweet almond oil feels on my skin, just on its own. So yeah, that feels really nice. Okay, definitely want some of that in there. Actually, I might want to just try to dump it in if I can. So there's that. I'm going to put a little bit more of the avocado oil in because that also feels really good on the skin. So yeah, there's no real measurements here. I'm just doing what I think is going to work out. We've got a whole bottle here of this cuticle oil. So we're going to shake this up. And then try it out. Put a little bit on. Cuticles. That feels really good actually. So you can put it all over your hands as well. Yeah, so these ingredients work really nicely together. They have a yellow tint to them. Just gonna get the bottle. Yeah, I really like these kind of bottles because to me they look really classy with this gold top to it. Next, I want to clean this off properly with rubbing alcohol and I want to label it. So you can label it with a label maker if you'd like. I want to get clear labels and put the ingredients in here on the side. All right, we'll try to do that next. I'm just using 99% alcohol. I think you can use probably 70% and above for just cleaning stuff like this on the side. And I'm just going to use a little cotton cloth pad. I just wanted to make sure that that was nice and clean. That's always good to do before you put the label on. So when I was making the label, I made it digitally. You can do it whatever you want. You can just use sticker labels from a label maker. So you can do handwritten. As you know, I like to make things look kind of professional. So I measured around here. So it's 4 inches around this way and then around 2 inches or so that way. So I like to sort of measure that first of all. And then I made these clear labels that will hopefully go around. I gave a little bit of space at the top and the bottom. So I should be able to cut this part off. I did little dots in the corner so that I can easily just cut things out. So I tried to print it on this. This is supposed to be printable paper, or so it said, this holographic paper. But as you can see, it looks a lot better on this clear sticker paper than it does on this. I think it really beat it up. I let this dry for quite a while. What I used for this clear paper, this is the Silhouette printable clear sticker paper. It comes with 8.5 by 11 sheets and it contains 8 pieces of paper. So what I want to try to do, I do want to have a holographic look to it. I'm just basically using these sheets, these premium vinyl sheets that came in this envelope. I found this snowy one here. Oh, great. So the ink didn't dry all that well. I did a pretty good job too, which is unfortunate. Awesome. So the ink didn't really dry. If this ink dried, this would actually look nice. Oh man, that's really unfortunate. Okay, well, I guess that didn't really work very well. It would have been kind of good, but that's okay. I'll just throw that out. But it's good to know that the ink didn't dry very well on that. So I'm gonna have to just do regular sticker paper, I think, for this. Okay, plan B. So I am going to do a clear with black ink label with my label maker to make it look super neat and tidy. So I'm just gonna put cuticle oil down. Okay, so it's cuticle oil. So I have Helsinki originally. I'm gonna try Berlin and see what happens with that and if it looks nice or not. I'm just gonna press that. How does this look? Okay, that looks kind of cool. It'll probably look neat on there. I'm just gonna cut it down a little bit more just so it's a little easier to fix on. Oh shoot, sorry, this is supposed to be the clear one. I'm glad I didn't do this. Okay, my bad. Take this off because this is just regular white laminated sticker. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a clear sticker. This is why I don't like to rush projects. Okay, let's try that again. So that off. I'm gonna do that again because I really don't like that. I don't think it took very well. Let's try that again. That's better. See, for some reason it didn't take, so I just printed it up again. It's a little bit of waste. That's unfortunate, but whatever, it's okay. I think the clear sticker is going to look nice on it. Hopefully it'll look a little classier. Okay, so this is cuticle oil. And I might, just to put the ingredients on it, vitamin E, comma, sweet almond oil, comma, avocado oil, and jojoba oil. So I want this to be more of a normal font, not an outline, not a shadow, not italic, not bold italic, nope, not vertical, just normal. And then I'm going to do smaller font, so size, small, back to Helsinki. I think that's a good one. Okay, so that's gonna be really small words. Let's print up ingredients in bold. I'll do it all capitals. And then I'll do bold. Okay, ingredients all in small. So I'm gonna put this on the other side. Ingredients will be down at the bottom. This is gonna look really DIY. So if you want to, you can always get something professionally printed by maybe a professional sticker printer and get some clear waterproof stickers or labels if you want to look really professional. If you want to, you can put directions and stuff like that on how to use the cuticle oil, but I think this on its own is probably fine. So that was a good backup, I think, when things don't really work out for you. It does the trick, and I'm pretty sure these labels are waterproof, so that always helps too, especially if you're using something oily. But this looks nice. I'm gonna stick this in a gift box here. So this is a Christmas gift box that I just made. Yeah, I think that looks really, really nice. And you can use that and give that as a nice little DIY nail kit for somebody. You can even write on the inside self-care kit or something fun like that. And then just pop this top on and you can tape up the sides, put a little bow on it or whatever you want to do. But that's pretty much that. And I'm going to show you another method if you want to make sure it's leak proof when you're gifting it to somebody. I like to take a little bit of Glad press-on seal, or you can get regular saran wrap, but I find that this stuff works really well. You can cut it down too if you'd like. You don't have to use this whole thing. And it shouldn't hopefully leak when you're transporting it. So there's that. So I'm also just putting this in a big gift pack. You can add whatever you'd like, but I thought that this would be kind of cute to add to a nice Christmas gift. So you got the face mask, put a little note about how to make that honey oat face mask. Just put that little note in here. I'll try to link that list down below and you can copy and paste that and just print that up. Yeah, so that's basically that. So you can do this little self-care kit or you can do this in a gift basket. It's quite full. But yeah, you can gift that to somebody. But yeah, that should work pretty nicely, I think. Hopefully you guys like that video. If you do, please give it a like, subscribe, and share the video with somebody. So that's pretty much it. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Okay, bye!